Hi guys, my name is Khurram and it's my 14-minute video, and in this video I will talk about React State, especially for beginners. Today I will talk about what is React State, how to use it in class component and functional component, and at the end I will talk about why to use React State, why we need React State. So let's start. In the last video I said React is component management through props and state. Actually, props make the component reusable because through props we send data to the component from outside. Then what is state? Let's see the definition. It's an object which holds information about component which may change over time. So we can say state is information about the component which we can change, or is changeable data about the component. Now let's see the example. Okay, I have created a project which actually very new project. So first I will create React State in class component, and then I will create the same state in function component. So let me create the file. Okay, this is a new file, and first class component. This is a class component, and now let's create the state. Props super. It makes sure that constructor is being called properly, and this is how we define state in class component. And we have only one state variable which is counter, and it has value 2. Now let's see how we get the value from state variable. This dot state dot counter, and no, because we are not importing, so comes here and let's choose it, and say React State. Yes, so now we have 2. So it's showing the value, it means it's working. Now I will add a button so we can increase the value in state, a state variable. So and plus sign, event handler, click. Let's design a component, a function, event handler function, and say update counter, and now how we update the state. We have a special function which calls set state, and in the set state we say counter, which is state variable, and is equal to this dot state dot counter +1. So we're saying okay, set the value to the counter which is the previous value +1, and let's call this function here. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So it's working now. This is the how we design React State in class component. Now let's see how we do it in functional component. Delete and new function component. This is a function component, and actually we define state in functional component through hooks. Hooks are special functions which connect the state with the component. Now first let me write. This is the way how we define state in functional component. Const array, and so say counter, set counter, and then use state, which is hook, and then initial value we say 4, and okay, this is a use state, this is a hook, and when we call it we pass initial value and it returns an array with state variable and a function which can change the state. So if you like to change the state, we have to use this function. Now let's first see how we show the value, and it's so simple. Counter, and it's f4, we have its value. Now check the difference, how we are showing value in functional component and how we have to show the value in class component. This dot state dot counter, and here we just write counter. That's why functional component are very famous these days. Now let's add the button, plus sign, and say on click, and okay. Now let's define the function. Update counter. And as I said, if we like to change the state, we have to use this function. So this one, and simply counter, which is a state variable, plus 1. That's it. See how we are updating the state, how we are increasing the counter value in functional component. And here how we do that. This dot state, that's counter, and so many, right? So many texts. So that's why in class component we have to write so many days. See, 1 2 3 4 5, but there is no this keyword. That's why functional component is very handy achievement or update. So let's call this function in event handler, and let's see if it's working. See, 4 5 6 7 8 9. So now we have seen how we can implement React state in class component and a functional component, but it was a very simple class. React state. Now let's define a little bit complex. So go to the app.js, remove this one, and actually I have designed a component which calls employee, and it receives 3 props values: name, destination, image name, and is working, and then it shows employees details. So let's call this component. So employee, yes, and it says name. Let's we say no. Hashim Shehzad. Designation, we say software developer, and image name is working. No. True. So I'm calling the component and true. Okay, it's very late. Yeah, so it's now showing. Let's call the component multiple times. So we are calling the component 3 times, and it's showing like this one. Now if we like to have the same data in React state, how we'll do that? Because see, here we are passing static data, but how to have this data in React state? So let's define it. Const employees or employees, set employees, use state. Yes. Okay, for the initial state we have to have array because they are multiple employees. So array, and then first employee. See, let's say 1, and let's copy the information from here to here and just fix the errors. And remove this one. So in this way we can copy a static data to the React state. So now we have information of first employee in our state. We can do the same thing with the rest of employees, but I have already done that, so let me copy this. Okay, so this is the information of 3 employees in our state. Now how to show the details or data from React state? Because we have an array, so we have to run a loop. So it will call one by one for get the each object or employee, and then we show the details. So how to call loop in React state? Let me show you. Employees, name of array, and then map. It's the way how we define loop over array in React. And then employee, such that for each employee just call the component. Let's go. Which component? Employee. That's it. And now name amp dot, let copy because I have to do it. Okay, name, yes, designation and image name and is working. Yes, so we are running a loop over our array which is in the state, and let's see what we have results. So we have result now. It's showing all the employees, so it's working perfectly fine. Now what next? The question is the most important question. Why should should we use React state all the time? The answer is no. We should not use React state all the time, because it's costs the performance, it affects the performance. So we should not use it. Yeah, we should use it when we like to manage the data, like to add new data or to change data or to delete data. Then we can use it. Otherwise, if it's a static data, then we should not use it because it costs the performance. So the thumb rule is we should use the React state whenever it's required. That's it. So we have gone through all the points. So we have seen what is React state and how to implement React state in functional component and class component, and how to design a little bit complex, not very complex of course, little bit complex state, how to use it, how to run a loop over array in the state, and most important, when we should use React state. We should use React state when we are going to manage the data. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a very nice time.